Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tassenix, and welcome to a special edition stream. It is Panic for the era of Andor. As just about an hour ago, the era units hit our rosters. You have 3 hours in total to get them ready before lock for the new season. So, yeah. Or not new season, but, week 3 of this season, rather. So, yeah, I'm here to panic, get these guys equipped. The top priority is Cassian's team, and then after that, we'll take a look at seeing about getting the ISB equipped. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not planning on getting any serious use out of them here in week 3. So, how's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for the raid, Womp Rat. I almost said the Wade. Very nice. Thank you, man. Thank you for the raid. MGYT, good evening. Good to see you. Hugsy, Onslaught Storm, It's KMA, Grax, Salia Knits. Good to see you all. Welcome, welcome. Bane, I see you up there. Are they not doing the 100 pack for the marquee? So dig this. In previous iterations of Era or the marquee system, the packs that you had to pay dollars for gave like materials that I didn't need, like actual gear or stuff that it wasn't really of value to me. So for the longest time, I've only been buying the big crystal pack and then maybe just a couple of the small ones if I needed to finish getting up to 10 shards in 6 stars like that. So that at the end of the week, I hit my 7 stars. I almost never whale out for the full 7 stars. So I had been buying the big crystal packs, but then I noticed these cash packs have just stuff for your era. Like era level materials. So I need those. I would otherwise be buying or desiring those. So I did pay cash for the $28 pack on the PC. You get the little discount, came out to about 30. And then a second pack unlocks with another larger chunk of shards for like $75. And that's, I think, your 100 shards. So because I did that, this time I didn't need to buy the big pack. In fact, when you buy the episode pass and you get your 20 shards out of that, I did not need. Make sure that you're leveling up through the event itself, right? You're picking up the late. Let me. As you're promoting and going up stars, you're coming back here and doing the next mission, getting your extra shards. So doing it the way I just described, just buying the 2 cash packs and the episode pass, I was able to hit here 15 stars. Oh, sorry, my camera's in the way. Let me kill it for a second. You see, I got to 15 shards in 6 stars without having to buy any of the other crystal packs, even the small ones. So, nice. Not the worst, Hey, Swugga Player, good to see you. Ray Rock, hey, what's going on? Bale Reed, good to see. Oh, yeah, hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? You and voice to support. That's right. That's right. All right, JJ, we'll show you what we got going out here. All right, let's get into it. First, I'll give you guys the freebie. I did this just before stream went live. I've already modded one of these characters. So now all of this is to have something serviceable for this last week of Fox. I'm not telling you this is the fully optimized. I'm not telling you that it couldn't be radically different by the time we come back for 3 versus 3. But as best as I can tell, and to have something decent on, this is what I did. So speed defense sets, I went with 3 protection primaries. Now, shout out to Dagger, who has the intention of using Cassian under Saw's lead sometimes, at least some of the time. And that's mostly a 3 versus 3 thing, I think he's intending by that. In which case, health primaries would be strictly better. So it also just happens that for me, it's going to be a lot more tear up to do these very same sets, but with health primaries. I've got much more demand on my health primaries right now. So it was just an easier thing for me to do. That being said, you can see that aside from being fast, it doesn't really have like a huge chunk of defense on it. This one is developing. Maybe I can get some more defense. This one is just kind of a mess. It doesn't really have any defense to it. It would be nice if it did. Defense, prot, health. These would all be great secondaries. This is health, defense, prot. I'm okay with it, right? So you see the idea I was going with. And, a popular question that I've been getting is, what about a crit avoidance arrow? Because, yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be crit. But the thing is that when Undermine is on enemies, you're stacking, where is it? You're stacking critical avoidance. While Rebel has VIP, all ally Rebel fighters. I mean, also you have critical avoidance for Cassian's VIP. You've got, the other thing is that if you read through the other characters and you see how quickly Undermine can spread, I think that it's wasted to have a crit avoidance arrow. Your argument would be the only reason to have the crit avoidance arrow would be to avoid massive crits at the very earliest turns of the fight, for which I would say being reasonably high relic and then modding for survivability overall should largely take care of that problem in terms of like, I feel like you're probably overkilling this team if you're just going to straight up murder my Cassian undercover in the first couple turns. That's kind of my feeling. So anyway, this is the way I decided to land on that, all right? Just made him big and fast. His value is not dying and using as many turns as possible. So classic case for a speed set, yeah? The new era feels rough, says Womprat. How do you mean? The Coliseum thing was a rude awakening to see how they've changed, how they're like pricing it out. I guess if we're all limited in the same way, it doesn't bother me as much. But the fact that, I guess the easiest way to show it would be here. That level 26 here, it's 6 stars, and you literally cannot buy materials to move you pretty much past this point. At this point in time. Now, for people who aren't throwing money at this problem, this is welcome news. You'll have more competitive opportunity early on, I guess. Even with this relatively restricted amount of spend, though, a couple characters in, there's probably going to be a significant gap between you and your competitors if you don't spend and they do. But that being said, the other thing with these packs in the shop that give extra levels to the loaned units, that's a new thing. I guess it's okay. I don't like it though in the sense that, well, if I just buy these and I don't really do anything in particular to my area units, if I just run these loaned units, well, certainly here early in the era, I'm running the most loan units. So I guess as the era progresses, I'm using less and less of these. I'll have to stop and think about that and who is going to make the cut. But I don't know. I don't know. It just happened. I have a mix of feelings on the restraining of the spending on it. I guess for most people, it should be a good thing. So we'll call it good for now. All right. No questions on Cassian. I didn't really see anything from you guys, so I'm assuming we're all on the same page. Let's check out Velsartha. So she's supposedly working like your tank here, right? But remember, we're also in the 5-man team. We're going to have Luthen. We're going to have the summon. So she's really meant to be an off tank, and her kit kind of complements that concept. We see she's got the accuracy, blah, blah, blah. So whenever Cinta or Vel are attacked by an undermined enemy, so maybe not in the first couple turns of the match, but almost any time thereafter, within the first few turns, like Undermined is probably on everybody. Vel gains a stack of resilient defense, max of 8 for 2 turns. When an undermined enemy attacks Cinta, she recovers 10% protection, and Vel gains 10% meter. Okay. Cinta. So we'll put Cinta in like maybe a protection circle. We'll think about that. Whenever an enemy attacks Cinta at the start of the enemy first time. 50% health. She and Cinta reset their cooldowns and equalize their health and protection. So when would we want this health to equalize? The question is, so if we mod Velsartha with, let's say, a protection circle, that means that the value at which she's hitting 50% health might be just easier to just blow right through that, like an enemy hitting that, right? So possibly health circle for her. What's the other one? See this at the start of her turn. So this is every turn. Rebel fighter allies gain 8% of Vel's crit chance, crit damage, defense penetration, and offense for 1 turn. Vel gains 50% offense per undermined enemy until the start of her next turn. While Vel has resilient defense, which is going to be pretty easy for her to have, she has plus 100% critical avoidance, counter chance, and defense. Undermined enemies deal 10% less damage on top of that. So this is why I feel like this unique alone gives her such a powerful stance for off-tanking. And then when you combine that with Entrenched, granted by the first special. So my gut for her is, holy shit, and crit damage up. I guess strictly the best thing would be like a crit damage defense set, right? Barring that, like offense defense set. Jay Chung says, did you relic 10 Cassie in just anticipation of the era battle? It's exactly that. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that they were clear that for the new era, it's going to run the same program as the Maul era did. All of the other units need to be Relic 9 to max out the related era battles. And then the end era unit, Spider Maul, in this case Cassian, need to be 10 to finish out that last tier of the new era battle. All right, Grax says, and when she hits undermined targets, might be if all enemies are, she gets a thing where she only takes 1 damage the next time she's hit with her basic. Okay, yeah, go back to that real quick. Oh. On her turn. Effective ward. So only when she does it on her turn, though. So that'll be turn 3. Right? No, turn 2. She only has the 1 special. Okay. Nice. Nice to know. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be kind of a trickier piece to put together, won't it? Let's talk about... I guess we'll do it by speed for now. Oh, this is fortuitous. Why are you chilling out here? Just a random 26 speed, just hanging out, being real cool. Wow, that's such a good mod, and it belongs on Luthen. We won't change that at all. What manner of support are you? Do we want to do it that way? Yeah, I think we're okay. Because Luthen's there, I think it's okay to kind of build her for damage. My gut feels like building her for damage. I understand that there's a very strong case for building her out like a tank. I get that. I do. And I may well be wrong, but this is a starting point. She's handing off offense from that unique. So we have the incentive to just make the slappiest that we can. We just need unbelievable shit ton of let's say these are on her for the moment. Physical, okay. Talk to me. The 71%. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. We should be able to find enough crit we should be able to find enough crit chance that we'll be alright. Okay. Ooh, wow, that's really good too. That is a really good mod. Okay, do that one then. Offense? Maybe. So we're going to make it tough on me, are we? Yeah, this is actually really good. How badly do I need Cody to have this mod? Need it that bad. How interesting. I think we'll take this. Take this one. We might walk that back, though, in a minute. We'll see. What are we actually looking at? Don't really want that mod. This will serve our purpose. So that's increasingly looking like a reasonable decision. Like it needs. How important is speed? Speed's less important. It would be ideal if it was health. If it was health, we'd also have the incentive to make the cross health. And then that's how she would be an even more effective off tank. I can see that. This is not required. It is not required that this is this. Okay. No, wrong one. Go one, thick. Now, out of curiosity, I was about to say, I thought I recalled having just such a monster as this. What do you think about this, party people? Ooh. Okay, so the damage is somewhat lacking. The crit chance. I'm pretty sure that what's her name, Clea, gives a buff that puts 30% crit chance on all of us. All right. Let me catch up with some of you guys' questions from the chat. I had to tunnel in there for a second to think about this. Aoi Hero, were you able to get Cassie and Datacron if you have extra brown crons? You can dismantle those for new FTCs. I did buy for cash the Cassian one and the Lumi one. Six Lime says, how are you going to use them? I'm going to try versus Stranger as the Undermine shuts down Star Killer assists, which seems pretty detrimental. That might be more detrimental against the focus Datacron than like the turn meter cron, right? If they're setting dark side turn meter, I don't know if that. I mean, I don't want to tell you you're wrong. I have no. The answer is I might just throw it on defense because remember the way that my season has been. I've had one real match each week and then two Erodiums. So just to see what an opponent is inclined to use against it is usually a really good use of time to figure out. You know. Rax, when she hits undermine targets, she gets. Yeah, we already covered that. MGY. So the lone units do not level with your characters anymore, so we have to spend to get them to higher levels. It's both. I get extra stuff from buying the packs, and I see that their strength is related to the star level and the era level of the unit. Because one of my patrons just wailed out for 7 stars, and their area units are just a couple levels higher than mine, and that's the only difference between. Striker, have you already modded your IPD and Krennic? The IPD mods I would describe as a work in progress, but I think if you look at them, you'll see where I'm going. And the Krennic mods are decent. I'm still dialing them in, but if you inspect them both, yes. If I had to use them this week, I would think they're serviceable, yeah. It's KMA. Off topic, are you going to miss the Starkiller Cron? It helped me beat Queens so many times, so I'll personally miss it. It's okay. It's okay. I thought it was. I mean, I think for last 5 vs 5 season more than this one, it did make a raid boss. You know, out of that character. Wait a minute. There's another alternative. I saw it. Yeah. So what if you get this here? What does that raise us to? 110 at 302. I kind of like how that looks. Is there a clocking that's important to me? Does anybody know if they're from the way that, well, somebody would only know this from paying attention in Coliseum, I guess. Is there a desired order to allow the AI to execute their skills? Because this is the time for me to know that. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. I think we're going to just lock that in. It's super important to plug that hole immediately. Is this needing to? It could be offense for all that it. Health is probably better, but can it be speed? I think speed is a no-go. because I need you to be slower than Batcher. And I don't think Batcher... While another Bad Batch ally is inflicted with captive. Yeah. So you don't have that speed otherwise. We need to be 329 or slower. That should be doable. So why were you that slow then? A speed thing that I'm not immediately remembering? No. Whatever. Fortuitous. Nice. So now Vel, I feel, is in a really strong spot, right? You there. By the way, guys, somewhere in the next half hour or so, my daughter's going to get home. So I'm going to need to take a short few minute break, get her off the bus, get her situated, and we'll resume. And we'll still have a few minutes, or at least an hour, less than an hour to get it done. All right. Yeah, Starkiller Kron's nice for punching up with lower relic Stranger team. Definitely, I think for those of you guys that don't have like a ton of relics on that team, getting Starkiller to drop the ship and be unleashed sooner is awesome. Thank you for the raid, Ranger. Appreciate it. Welcome. With 20 viewers besides, good to have you all. Good afternoon. This is the Panic stream, locking in something on these guys. If you are just joining us, then here's Cassian. I put him in a speed defense set. Protection primary for triangle, cross, or circle. Although, if you are of the mind to use him under saw lead for any reason, it would be strictly better for him to be in health primaries instead. Other than that, I just want him to take a ton of turns. So just speed and some defense to help him be around. Then we just took care of Vel. So I feel like she's an attacker in terms of what her kit's doing, but she's off-tanking because of resilient defense, and you know that there's going to be some amount of juggle going on between her and the summon from Luthen. So how to kind of lean into this is I actually have 3 health primaries here, because there is a equalization clause in her kit that makes me think that maybe health is better. This could be all prop next season. No guarantees. But yeah, it just worked out pretty easily to put her in this health setup with the crit damage triangle, some decent stats besides. And why this specific set is that at the start of her turn, Rebel Fighter allies gain 8% of Vel's crit chance, crit damage, defense penetration, and offense for 1 turn. So every turn, that's executed. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then when she has resilient defense, she's got this crit avoidance, counter chance, and defense. So this crit damage orientation kind of capitalizes on that counter chance and makes it potentially actually risky to do. And then undermine enemies dealing 10% less damage makes me feel like her being set up this way qualifies her to off-tank. And that brings us back to the present. So, Cinta and Clea, huh? Let me see what you guys said. Did anybody say that there's a better turn order than others? If you get undermined out before Vel goes, Cinta assists on Vel's special if the target is undermined. Okay. I want to say that that wagon train gets moving from the first turn with Cassian. That would be my guess. Yeah, Cassian is naturally, I think, going to end up being the fastest, since intuitively I want him to be in a speed set. So these guys are all going to end up in some type of attackers thing, you know? Play would want a crit damage set, right? Yeah, that's what I kind of felt to do, Aoi Hero. If I was kind of shorter on crit damage mods, then I would be fine. I would be comfortable enough doing it in offense, because she's also sharing offense too, in addition to crit damage, right? It's not terrible. Hey, Megatron, good to see you. Let's see. Clay would want a crit damage set, right? I'll read through here in a minute. Have you tried Coliseum yet? Wondering how to push rank for more aromats and get the airship currency. One new light side token every 2 days is too good to pass up. Later on, I can show you that. I don't want to spend a lot of time in Coliseum here. If Keen's stratagem counts towards Vel's unique, then it might be a thought to have Clea before Vel to give her Keen. I want to say that Clea is safely, naturally faster anyway. I'll tell you what, since there's such interest in it, let's kind of look at her real quick. So yeah, this is what I was remembering earlier. She has a bunch of crit chance granted to her and 50% potency. And remember, Cassian leads giving us 100% potency. So I think we're kind of straight on potency, immediately. Dun, 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 dun. Turn meter gains. So she's going to be untargetable a certain amount of time, basically while Luthen's alive, and Luthen himself can't be targeted, I want to say, until presumably all non-Clay allies are off the board type of a thing. Yeah. So what does this mean to me? Why do you say crit damage? You say crit damage because of the free crit chance. The higher the likelihood that you can reliably crit, the better value there is in a crit damage set. I can see that. Physical damage to all enemies, remove turn meter, stratagem. Keen stratagems plus potency and plus offense, right? I might not have enough crit damage sets available, but maybe crit damage is really good here as opposed to offense. My first instinct when I read through this was offense. I'm trying to remember why, though. Yeah, the offense ups nice. Yeah. So what ramps into the infinite? Offense is what would be increased by successive uses of what? You can only gain this once. I think you could make a pretty reasonable case for offense or crit damage regardless. What's our base potency? Do I actually need to worry about it? So 93 plus 50 plus 100, we're fine. This inclines me. So because she's, in particular, because she's inaccessible, I'd like to see about no bulk emphasis, really. Just maximized offense and speed, I think. All right. Hey, Tumblo, good to see you. El Fritzel, hi. Quick question. What's the best team in Coliseum? I did something. I don't know what's the best, first of all. I mean, I'm just about as new to this as you are for this new era. But I did Hera, General Syndulla lead, BKM, Cara Dune, obviously the new droid, and I want to say Drogon. And that got me through the first tier and, wailing on materials and putting in another attempt on the second tier has me at like second or third place right now. She will just always crit if all allies are rebel fighters. She just does a ton more crit damage against undermined enemies. Yeah, so I feel like, whatever your choke point is, you could go with offense or crit damage on here, but crit damage is probably strictly better given what we're reading. Because between the 30% crit chance from a unique and then another 30% when she gives out that whatever it is on her third ability, that buff that stays on the rest of your allies, all of your allies, including yourself, for the rest of the fight, that's another 30% crit chance. Okay, well, I also need to think about two-piece. What's important here, two-piece wise? Can't be another 4 set, so not speed. Potency wouldn't be the best. Tenacity could be useful. Crit chance seems entirely wasted. Defense would be nice for when the shit hits, if the shit hits the fan. And health would be perhaps the least of these. So probably defense over tenacity over health if I had to guess. Let's start from there and build up. Okay, this is the droid. This is one of the droids we're looking for, I guess. Offense. I saw that there was a reasonably fast crit damage thing out there. Okay. Fun. Reasonably fast offense primary. I don't really need the potency, and I don't want to rob Han. How often am I using Han? I mean, I'm using him in this modern team. Got this, though. Is there a case to make an exchange? Tenacity is actually desirable for us here. No flat offense to compound this. This does have it. It also happens to have, what is that? The missing 7% nominally. Yeah, but that's taking us into health set, and I prefer to avoid that. That's what this would do as well. You've got this. That's okay. You've got what? This? That is potentially interesting. Also potentially too slow. We'll take a look at that later. Intuition for the circle. Well, this is the right speed, but it's not really the stats that I want. Filter on offense as a mandatory. Tough to go wrong with that. This will serve. All right, so we're trending towards tenacity, crit damage. What's this one? Interesting. Not quite what I need. That's on Chewbacca. I can't be robbing you, boy. Da, 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 da. Yes, I remember you over there, but that's still out of the bound. Might have to make a tough choice on this middle. What's this? Garbage is what it is. Okay. Grax. She will always crit if allies or rebel fighters. She just yeah, okay, we covered that. You did Mon Mothma lead, so she kept bringing the team back. I also think I tried it with Mon Mothma once. I think it was good. All right. Yeah, we got a set of ads coming in, but we're just plowing through. Crit damage, really, what are my options? First of all, what's this? Why is this just sitting fallow? All right. Adjusted. Crit chance is absolutely not the concern. What would be the most important thing? Yeah, I mean, probably just speed here. Kind of nice. And it's actually that magical 7% number we were looking for. It doesn't have any added offense on it, but nobody's perfect, are they? Okay, we are safely faster than Vel, which means that I actually have the discretion to apply this, don't I? Guys, what do you think about that? What are we looking at here? Is it beneficial to have her faster than Cassian? Because unless Cassian has like extra speed in his unique, right now she's faster than Cassian, and that's without a speed arrow. This bitch got big shoes on. Big shoes. Who's the fifth for the Cassian team? Luthen, surely? Yes, Isaiah. Absolutely. Yeah, I had to be reminded of that too. I was staring at all the area units. I'm like, blink, blink. Who's the fifth? Dagger reminded me it was Luthen. All right. I think we'll lock this in. Strictly speaking, defense would be a better two set. But I have more constraint on that. I have a lot more demand on defense. So this is absolutely serviceable. Pretty monstrous. All right, last but not least is Cinta. How do we want to do this? So protection circle for her because she's recovering health and protection. Cinta stealths and gains 100% offense. Whenever a rebel fighter ally damages a debuffed enemy out of turn, Cinta also dispels all debuffs on herself. That enemy is undermined, dispel all debuffs on health. God, that's crazy. Uses special Cinta assists, okay. Against an undermined enemy. So what does her basic do? Okay. But whenever so that doesn't require that that's executed on her turn, meaning that when she's called to assist out of turn, she'll stealth. Okay, good to know. So it won't matter if she's not super fast, at least in terms of like keeping her alive, because whoever's fastest on our team will do a special, which will call her, and then she's stealthed, right? It's the next best thing to starting the fight in stealth. So here's a real question. Who is important to actually go first? Because right now, I think it's set up that Clay is first on my team. Is that better or worse than Cassian first? Because technically she's like 2 faster than Cassian right now, which is maybe I should be putting her in a speed arrow and just like letting go all notions of having him be faster than her, because if I she that's a 16 speed offense arrow on Clea right now. She'd be pretty much 360, right? Like 360 plus with the speed arrow. That might be something to do. Isaiah 12. Got Maul up to Relic 10 for lock after taking the 7 stars today. That's fun. Yes. Big achievement. Well done. What do you think about Andor Plus? Clea, Luthen Bays, Chirrut with the Chirrut Datacron. When if you're not having the FDC for Andor. I guess you could do that. Andor, Clea, Luthen, you do have call outs for those. Yeah, I think that would be pretty nasty, actually. The problem being, so it is neat, but you have a neutered Saw, don't you? Saw is not necessarily like top of the meta for the best defense because it depends on what you have available for it. Like if you're going to commit Riva with the Grand Inquisitor Cron, you can 4-man that. And I don't know if there's any version of Saw that's going to stand up to that. So, in the sense that it reliably draws Inquisitors, maybe that's valuable to you. But if you haven't been impressed by Saw all season and you're okay, then yeah. Because Saw without Luthen, I don't think is worth anything. You can run Saw without Kyle. You can run Saw without a bunch of stuff. But Saw without Luthen, I don't know about all that. You need the team at Relic 6 for the... Oh, I see. Yeah. Corgi Seeger, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so whenever she uses an ability while stealthed on her turn, so it is important that she's not the fastest, because we would love her to start her first turn in stealth so we can capitalize on this. Expose the target enemy for 2 turns whenever Cinta attacks. Out of turn while stealthed, her attacks have plus 100% crit chance. Oh my god. Plus 50% critical damage and defense penetration. Whenever a rebel fighter ally is damaged by an undermined enemy, reduce the cooldown of fight to the death by 1. All right. Excuse me. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Breach. Target enemy for 1 turn. If they are breached by this ability block them 1 turn. If they are ability blocked by this ability, death mark them for 1 turn, which can't dispel. This ability can't be resisted by undermined enemies. So does that mean that it's strictly best for her to be like last? Because that would ensure the most number of opportunities for her to only be attacking undermined enemies. Like saying that you wanted to set this on defense, right? Like that would be the underlying assumption. Andor pushes turn meter with both abilities in GAC, so it can go both ways. Do you want him first to push everyone else up to try and lap, or help push your team to the second turns quicker? His second does stack max health in GAC, so we also want that often. Is he using his second special on his first turn, Grax? Is that how he's kicking it off? Crit damage or offense is exactly what I'm trying to suss out right now, KMA. That's exactly what I'm here for. Just a reminder, somewhere here within the next, well, I'd say in the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to have to step away for a few minutes to get my daughter off the bus and get her situated, and then we'll press on looking at ISB. But once I have these guys done and then I relock in, I'm good for the week, you know? I'll be all right. Ooh, would be cool if I could get that one cron ironed out for JMM, too. So it occurs to me that potency is important. We get 100%. You have 82. So an incidental amount from secondaries. Not to say that we couldn't make use of a potency 2-piece. She's not getting quite as outrageous an amount as Clea. Again, defense is all right. She's under stealth. How much help does she need with crit? I didn't notice. What's our damage types? Physical, physical, and where are you at as a start? 89. Okay. What type of attacker are you? Agility. Okay, that makes sense. So with that amount of crit chance, if we had a 2-piece of crit chance, you could justify. Okay, I see the path opens. See it. Okay, speed. One, nope. I actually need crit damage primary. That's my bad. You're not the best, are you? Could be. Offense? Yeah, I think so. Always better if you can put them in survivability primaries, but that's not always an option. This is a good one. I think we said protection was the ticket on the circle if we could. Wow, that is an incredible mod. A good tank. What do we absolutely strictly require? We require offense. However, we do this. How fast are you? What's your story? Ugh. Story sucks. There be some other story. Yeah, okay. See, so this is a very practical problem that people come up against all the time. And I get questions about this all the time. Tass, you recommend this sort of sets, but can I make it do? Can I make do with this or that? It's absolutely, because that's what I'm doing all the time. I am all the time making that type of call. Wow, that is such a nut mod. Ugh, what am I doing? How fast do you need to be? You don't need to be extraordinarily fast. You just need to be kicking people's teeth in. Can I get something offense related here? What do you got? What can you give me? Only gonna give me that, eh? This or this, huh? We're already over 100%, so we know we don't need a lot of help. If I had to, I could make do with this. I suppose we prefer protection primary wherever we can get it. I guess we'll put that. Yeah. Yoink. As speed is less important, let's just sort by offense. The candidate out at me. Weak. Weak is the free option. This one is significantly better. Can I offer you something? Still, we are looking at either. What is this? God. All right. First of all, did I have that? Yeah, I did have that sorted out. You like my hat, Corgi Seeger? I appreciate it, man. I picked it up earlier this year with family down to Disney World. Let's see. Does blind and put out undermine and deal 30,000. My guess would be, as far as does it matter who's first, Leia seems so naturally predisposed to being the first on the team. Consider that she is presently 2 speed faster than Cassian when she's in a crit damage set and he's in a speed set. Are you having fun remodding under pressure? It's just stupid, and one of the things they need to change ASAP. Raid launch, TW launch, new air units, and GAC launch all in 3 hours. It can be a little stressful, man. But I've done this now the last couple eras, and I had some requests. Some of you guys did ask to see how I set this up. God knows a ton of you have been asking me what I'm going to do, and I've given you all the same answer. I have no earthly clue until I get here, until I can actually fiddle around with this. That is a really odd. Talk to me, Goose. I think we'll commit to you. I think we'll commit to you. This one is very much worth upgrading. So we'll take that. What? Offense then ideally on this? Yes. Preferably. If you would kindly. Give me one of these. Strong contestant right there. Whoa. Is this right? 180%? If these were potency sets, we'd be in a better position, wouldn't we? Oh, this is wasted here. What if we made this exchange? First, can you give it to me as an offense primary, perhaps? Rare. Rare. Yeah, I know this one's here. We could move that. Something else has to give. If we do that, what happens? We get up to 82. Yeah, we need to complete the 2-piece. What? 35% would put us over. Out of curiosity, can you show me a potency primary? Ooh, geez, I was doing this the hard way, wasn't I? Thought I had more options. I'll think about it. I don't want to take this off Talon. It may not be worth disrupting that. So it looks like Vel will be the slowest of the bunch at just over 300, I think, which doesn't sound bad to me. I like this. How's this grab you guys? 328? Big crit damage, over 100% potency, well over 100% crit chance. In fact, it's kind of gratuitous. Can I not do better for myself? Yes, you are amazing just the way you are. I don't want to disrupt all that beauty. 93, this is the same one. Where's the other one? Refinement, we can roll away. A crit chance, and even one potency slice and still be at the mark that I want. So this feels okay. There's room to improve, I think, but damn fine start. Damn fine starting point. Would you not agree? All right. Is Saw even worth placing now without Luthen? No, I don't think he would be. All right. On an immediate tier basis, let's just lock this in. I know that I've got to go patch holes, and then this is the part where you guys can ask me a ton of questions if you want um, about anything else, because I'm going to fix these holes on this handful of characters, relock, and then look at ISB. That might be slightly wasted effort, but if I end up running up against the clock, at least I'd be locked in solid. So if I have to do a bunch more work after that, that's okay. All right. See. Feel free to drop some questions in the chat. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see, Tass, would you rather be 3-8 or 8-3? Both don't sound like great lives lived. Um, Probably 8-3. You thinking them on defense? So when I mod things, I mod for the greater restriction. What's harder? If I want this, is it harder to achieve the desired result with how they need to be modded to set them on defense, or do they need something very specific so that I can execute with them properly on offense? Whichever one of these I determine is the more difficult to do, that will be the default modding for the character for the team. You dig? All right. So, like I said, guys, my daughter is due home any minute now from the bus. So, I'm going to step away for just a couple minutes. Be right back. Please do fill up the chat with your questions, and we'll proceed on the path when I get back. All right, all right, all right. We're back. For like the 4 people that waited for, I don't know, last 15 minutes, I was out the door. My glasses are all tinted and everything right now. Thanks for waiting, though. We've got a little time. Try and get everything right. Holes first. It's fine. Done. Next. Seb. I don't know. Try and keep it the same set type. If we can, can't. Don't care. No hair, don't care. He's full of placeholder units anyway. Kind of been interesting. You good? It's all right. Yeah, no CD here. Potency could go there. CD could go here. There is no CD. I mean, you got this one. Got this. That's fine. You could stay right there then. Okay, Ayla. Yeah, you are actually something of a problem. Oh, you need to be a potency. Okay. Little tricky. Little tricky here. First. Oh, you tell. Oh. Who needs this? Not you. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So be it. Base. Next one. Defense set. What are you talking about over there, sweetness? What are you up to? All right. I'm glad you guys stuck around. I was sorry it was that long of a wait. I tried to send a couple messages here in the chat while I was freezing out by the corner, which, by the way, just love that it's checks notes. "52 degrees Fahrenheit. Yesterday was 76 this time of day, so neat. All right. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Six Slime says, have you done ISB? No, that's what's up next. If I have time. It's not the top of my priority list, you know? The top. Ooh. We're gonna have to improve that mod then. That he deserves to be about 250, I would say, and that'll be okay. Next priorities. You can wear just about anything. You'll be okay. Up, make a defense set and roll it. Nothing of the kind. How fun. Sort, speed, least of these. Ooh, can't even bring. Ooh, yeah, that's right. That one I did want to put on briefly. All right, well, this can go here. One of you must adjust. Fair winner. Sold. Deck. 80 degrees here. We're happy to not have 52. It was 76 yesterday. Like 76 is like the perfect temperature. That is just perfect. Aplu, what was that? That was speed? Okay, that's fine. Just a random 27 speed crit damage mod that I'm not using. Feels good, man. Fine, you can have that. Just to have this spot filled. This is a health mod. Yeah, this is fine. But, oh, I see. One of these was potency. Yeah, I didn't think so. Suitable. Done. Okay, Calrissian. We need these two. The least of these, my friends. Wow, really? Are we really that hard pressed? Interesting. God, that mod's way too good. One. This one's fine. You're not a pilot. This is a mod potentially worth taking further, but we'll throw that on. That means one of you must change. You might be my lucky winner. I don't know. Feels too good to put that on. Yeah. That mod's gonna end up on somebody. Hmm. What should I do with this? Probably just equip it as broken set and call it a day. All right. Boy, howdy, are things hectic? Yeah, man. How you doing, Kadar? Good to see you. Yeah, Ray Rock. Yeah, the temperature swing is just god awful uncomfortable. I was walking. I went out in the morning, came back home, and that was before I don't know, like 11. So before it got actually warm for the day. So I was expecting when I walked out to the bus stop that it was going to be similar to yesterday. So I was just out there, just cold in my shorts at the bus stop. Okay, so I am not really planning to use this team in this week. I'll be honest with you. Um, Furthermore, the team's going to excel in 3 versus 3 in particular because Dedra's got the thing that's only active in threes. So I expect that that's worth something. Anyway, let's work from the outside in, same way like we did with Cassian. We'll start with the lead, potency down, and speed down on all enemies. Bonus protection. Bonus protection implies that these guys are going to be health oriented, so we can get the maximum survivability out of that. ISB allies at a rank 3 ignore taunt effects on their turn until the end of battle. Okay. At the start of their turn, ISB allies have plus 25% crit chance, defense, and tenacity if they are rank 1. These bonuses are doubled if they are rank 2 or quadrupled if they are at rank 3. So up to 100% crit chance, defense, and tenacity, depending on their rank. So how easily can they get to and stay at rank 3? Yes, yes, Grax, you're sitting here in degrees Celsius, confused how you guys look and sound so okay being sound so okay being scorched alive. Yes, 52 or 76 degrees Celsius would be unkind to human life. All right, so hold on. So this is Grand Arena. Wait, 5% offense. So this is like the only thing. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, yeah. So you'll use this against a team that's going to be doing a lot of recovery, and you can exploit that. And this is how you get your offense. When you read through this team, the one thing I see is like you're not really having something that's causing you to heavy hit, nor do you have any real heavy hitters in your team. Maybe that's what the new unit's meant to address. But this is like your only way of building up offensive power, I think. Anyway, 5% more damaged against a target lock enemy is so there's some actual use for IPD. ISB allies inflict speed down for 2 turns whenever they attack out of turn. Cool. All right, so with the Omicron, while in Grand Arenas and all allies or ISP, Partagaz starts the battle at rank 3 and gains 50 speed. So he's got the crit chance, the defense, and tenacity maxed out. Whenever an allied ISB support, like, what's her name, gains retaliate, they also gain 20% bonus protection for 1 turn. Whenever an ISB ally is damaged, Major Partagaz gains 15 turn meter. The first time each ally falls below 30% health, they recover 30% health and protection. ISB support allies stealth for 1 turn, and ISB tank allies taunt for 1. So the first time each ally falls below 30% health, that character recovers, and then all ISB support allies stealth, and all tanks are triggered to taunt. So, a leg up with defense, crit chance, and tenacity, ranging from 25 to 100%, depending on. All right. Chain of command. Whenever an ISB ally is defeated, active ISB allies decrease their rank by 1. Okay. If all allies are ISB, Partagaz starts the encounter at rank 2. So this would be whether or not he's the lead. If ever there should be cause to have him not be the lead of an ISB group, then there's his free rank 2. But under his own leadership with the Omicron in Grand Arena, he will start at rank 3. Whenever an ISB ally uses special ability, other ISB allies at rank 2 or higher gain 10% counter chance, stacking until the end of battle. Whenever an enemy is defeated, ISB allies increase their rank by 1. Yeah, that makes sense. That bookends the first clause. All right, basic. Put health down. Days. Doesn't say it's not resistible. I don't think I've seen anything so far that suggests that he doesn't want potency. And that's not granted to him. All enemies with target. Yeah, this looks like we need some. This ability can't be evaded or resisted, so that's interesting. Okay. This ability specifically. Okay, well, this isn't a huge deal to worry about. All right. What are you looking at, potency wise? 48%. So let's see, you get 35, right? So you need potency cross, probably 2-piece of potency, and a little secondary love besides. I missed a unique. Did I? Thought I read. Oh shit! I thought that was the first thing I looked at. Never mind. That was all in the leadership. Oh my god! Whenever a major Partagaz inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all enemies lose 5% potency. Okay, well that's fine. Can't be started. Whenever an enemy gains foresight or stealth, dispel it and expose that enemy for 2 turns, with 1 stack for each rank Major Partagaz has, which can't be evaded or resisted. Okay, so that can't be. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, remove 5% of their max protection. Yeah, I mean, potency still feels like it would have a place for the sake of the debuffs on the basic, but maybe it's not worth stretching for. I mean, semi-reliable days might be nice. Anyway, we need to look at the other kits real quick. Max health stacking. That already fits the health profile we thought we needed. Did the music already cut off? Yeah, let's put the music back on. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a stagger there. Shock. Can't be resisted. What kind of potency you working with? Yeah, more than Partagaz, I guess. Not huge though. Yeah, she doesn't have. So Partagaz is the yeah. I don't even know why Partagaz's unique talks about. Anyway. Chain of command undermines an ally. She gains a rank. Good. Steal up. That makes sense. Gains foresight. Nice abilities. Okay. Start a battle. If all allies are ISB, Daedra gains 35% tenacity and 50% turn meter. So probably not a lot of help with tenacity is needed for her. Whenever other ISB allies trigger expose on an enemy on their turn, Dedra it undermines that ISB ally for one turn. So that's the mechanism. Additionally, if Dedra is rank 3, whenever an ISB ally uses a special ability against an enemy with expose, they inflict torture on the target enemy for 2 turns and at the end of the turn. Whenever Dedra undermines an ISB ally, she recovers 10% of her max health and gains overconfident for 2 turns. Whenever an undermined ISB ally takes a turn, she gains 10% turn meter. This debuff expires, they gain overconfident. Oh. While Daedra she's immune to taunt. Interesting. At the start of battle, Dedra exposes all enemies for 2 turns and gains 30% max health. While ISB allies are undermined, they have plus 80% offense and defense. Oh. While ISB allies are undermined, if they are already below 50% health or drop below 50% health, limit once per undermine. Protection up and tenacity of 20%. Okay. Whenever Dedra undermines an ISB ally below 50% health, she gains potency up for 2 turns. That's too rare of a condition to rely on. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and expose. So the expose could be resisted. Dispel debuffs. Okay. Yeah, okay. Crit chance, crit damage. Additional for each other. Crit chance and crit damage. Hmm. Hmm. Retribution speed up. Interesting. So she's kind of sneaky in the sense that she could do real damage, right? All other ISB that are not. So she herself will not join the mass assist. Interesting. How are the teams going? Eric T. Russell. Yeah, we already finished the Cassian team. Again, let me show that to you guys just as a quick blow through. Speed defense sets on Cassian. You could go with health or protection survivability setup. I chose protection because it was less constraining. But yeah, 3 protection primaries, speed arrow, lots of protection and defense where you can. And yeah, he landed about 346, just where he happens to be. Next one is, we'll just hit Vel, I guess. Vel, we set up kind of as an off tank, but she's going to do real damage. She's got 110,000 health with 3 health primaries and a crit damage triangle. 302 speed, of course, the 222% crit damage. Only 6,700 offense, but it's okay. I feel like we'll be all right because I feel she does some damage, but her purpose is to do some damage and off tank. So I think she's well set up for just that. Let's see. Cinta is, again, a damage dealer. Could have gone with offense or crit damage sets. It was more convenient for me to do crit damage, so here I am. Just over 100% potency. I do think that's worthwhile. You get a free 100 from Cassian, but it didn't cost me much to do this, so I liked it. Some added offense here. She clearly doesn't need much help in the way of crit chance. There's a wild amount of crit chance on secondaries in this mod set. She doesn't have to be crazy fast, and it looks like she's just naturally faster than Vel. I think it's better if other allies are going ahead of her, so the fact that everybody but the off-tank so far is, I'm okay with that. Nice, Steve-O. 302, my favorite sized engine. Nice. All right, and then Clea. So another crit damage set, and I think since she's out of touch most for a good part of the fight, you could go with a tenacity 2-piece, a defense 2-piece. I want to say potency is not really necessary, right? We're at just about 100% with only 10% added, so you can find that with a couple incidental secondaries. Let me go. I hear my little one fussing about something. Let me go investigate that real quick. But yeah, we set up with this offense crit damage setup, and I don't think she gets a whole bunch of free crit chance. That's why I'm okay with her being only at 91% crit chance, but in a crit damage set, usually you want to be 100. Have I done a mod look at for the ISB? That is exactly what I'm just about to do when I come back, Your Friendly Radar. I've got less than a half hour to belt out some type of attempt. I will be right back. All right. We're back. Mission continues. Fatherhood, punctuated by brief moments of time for Swugger. Yeah, you're putting them on defense? Okay. You're here but muted, so you won't hear anything. No worries. No worries, Kadar. All right. Yes, back to Partagaz as the first one. So, no significant amount of damage. We said health, though, right? So 1, 2, 3, like that. So health primaries. Health and prot with offense. Potency. Good chance. Wasted. Potency? This mod absolutely could move. We don't need to have anything specifically elevating Old Poe, right? Okay, got the kids set up now. Differently. Yeah, this is a problem. Maybe you? That's only 15. That's not that fast. Constrained there. What about this one? I'm pretty sure that this profile is not mission critical to the success of Zan. The health here is really badass. How bad does GBA need a mod of that quality? Probably doesn't. Hmm. That's an 18 speed free roll. Probably worth proving and just working with that. Ah, this is perfect then. Okay. So I was hoping maybe to do this with potency, but it looks like tenacity is destiny. Let's have a look. No, that's an attacker's mod. What's critical to it? I mean, potency would be nice. This is a fast mod. That might be in our future. Throw that on for a moment. Yes, this one I've been waiting to find a good home for. This one I remember rolling up randomly and saying, I'll know when I need to move this off Geonosian Soldier. So the moment has come. We're really not doing ways of potency. Disappointing. Are you quite satisfied making noise over there, kid? Yeah, you guys heard that big boom, eh? All right. I don't have Partagaz's Omi. Yeah. Well, you don't have Partagaz's Omi. It's not going to be that impressive, I think. Yeah, this is okay. It's only 63%, huh? We're looking at something around 315. What is that? Another 10 speed, so like 319, 320 speed, somewhere around 320 is what I'm looking for a finishing mark. So this is serviceable, not optimized. Probably better if that was potency, strictly speaking, but I don't know how much difference. You're still going to be health. I think it's just straight tank modding with health primaries. Preferable to have him in all defense sets, but I know I'm going to hit a constraint on that. Yeah, look at this. Like, I'm fully booked right now. I'd have to think of something else. Well, I mean, not necessarily. We can just move some things around. So that means that if I'm coming down here, this already has new. This is fine then. And That's okay. Who's my winner? Defense is extraordinary. Front. Hmm. That's not more important, though. Hmm. I can support this. I can steal this from Scion. Right. Back to defense. Still so. Okay. And speed's a bit too slow. Let's see. Do you think offense on KX and Coliseum he hits pretty hard? Thing is that he is your main tank though, right? I can't have him going down easy, you know? Defense is something that the team is granted over the course of the fight. His own durability is not as assured. So I'd probably think of it that way. Oh yeah. Where does this feel? 10% defense on Savage is too much to take away. I mean, Visas really need this? Visas can make do without it, is I think something we can come to an agreement on. What are you? Wow. Very interesting. That's an 18 for what? 4. What if this was a 20? That's too slow. Hmm. This mod intrigues me. It's actually really good. I don't know how fast you need to be, but my guess is not that fast. Let's see. He hits hard because he gains offense from his defense from his special. Oh, there you go then. Who can I afford to give? Oh, that's a monster. Hmm. It would be best if these last two were defense instead of health sets. That's acceptable. Could work with that. 10% potency. Potency on him isn't so critical. Can we do better? Who does have the? Ooh, that's all right, but these are sorted by health, whereas it should still just be. Okay. Now that's something with defense but no health. Can you give me both? What can you cook up for me? Defense and health on you. 280 something speed. But it is perfect, isn't it? 264 is not too slow. 78 is under 80. I'd prefer him to be 80%, but I think there's some room to move towards that. This is surely the worst of all of these. Hmm. No, I'm okay with this. All right. So that's 2 done. What do we got? 15 minutes? How are we looking for fucked up characters? Yeah, let's unmess this. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to be anything in particular. You just have to be, I guess, defense set and free. So much the better. I've got all these tenacities available. So much the better. Okay, Nebbit. That looks like it's a tenacity I need. Just fine. All right, we're at Dedra. Let's do the save real quick. Wow, I've got to get used to that. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, we're not going to have time to finish out this Datacron the way I wanted, am I? Let's see if we can get a little lucky on this. Hey, Cypher Mangoes. Hey, Tass. Hey, what's going on? Oh, this is the one I wanted. Wow, okay. We'll take that. Give me crit damage, would you? Not quite. What I was looking. Can you take me to the go site? Go down here. Where is it? It's blue set, right? Yeah, this one. Already got those. Got those. I don't really need to buy more of these because I'm not buying another one. Need to make sure I'm not wasting rerolls. Rerolls are going to be needed. These are the reroll materials. Okay. Give us that. I'll take the fat defense slice instead. Okay, defense and health. This is something, all these should be replaced with crit damage as much as possible now, I would think. So these are going to get expensive first. Let's roll you away first. I mean, health is better than crit chance, so I'll take it, but then I'm rolling it away immediately. Okay. All right, moving in the right direction-ish. One more of these. Yeah. Damn shame. Too expensive to bother with right now. All right. Bulk is fine. Good chance is not fine. Not really the droid I'm looking for. Hey, that's my man. Come on. Take it. Getting low rolled here, but still we'll take it. All right. This is the only problematic piece. Yeah, not this one, so we'll have that. Probably this. Yeah, that's the one. So you're thinking, Task, why don't you take the prod up level 3 to trigger this level 6? And I had to be reminded of it myself earlier today. Temple Guard is going to grant protection up to everybody at the battle start. So you kind of get a free leg on that one. Probably better just to take bulk. Okay, 10 minutes to mod Dedra. Lock in. Is that correct? No, sir. You have a whole bunch of holes that you have to address first. So, health primary, we said. Speed, we said. That's okay. That's probably the one I want. All right. 250 is not super fast, but super fast is not what we require. Poe is a pilot. Important to have him. I guess you're getting the insanely fast crit damage speed. which is stupid. But it's going to have to work. The least of these, please. That's fine. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Exo. Lumi, that's right. We said this one. So this is 3 suitable. Better if it had defense. Offer me that. 74, 62, acceptable. Done. Tebow's crap. So these three are crap, but we can plug them up with anything, right? Only unassigns. This looks like it should be a health. The least of these goes here. Eth looks like he's defense, but defense is constrained, so I'm not going to sweat it. There's a swap that I might make easily for the desired set type. Perfect. Clone Wars. You can have that ridiculous ass. This one. Everyone's a winner at my table today. All right, Daedra, left alone. 8 minutes, resave, shields up. We said what? Potency, 53%. What is she doing? Undermine. All this stuff of hers can be resisted, right? She's not getting like free potency. I think we really do want potency on her. She's got the most effects baked in. Does that sound right to you guys? Ooh, what a crazy ass spot that would be. The fucking crit damage triangle. Yeah. What if she needs that? What if we could make use of her? She's gaining critical strike damage. Better that she goes fast, but I think there's something to be done here. Potency? Or is it health? Can you sort by health? Fast? That's an interesting mod. I don't have time to put that one into service today, though. We need you to be at that speed. You're an interesting one. We take from you. Let's try this for now. Oh yeah, that's a health primary. Let's just go crazy with it for the moment. Health, good. 7 minutes. Yeah, not a lot of time to make something click. Gotta be just right. Pretty attractive. Don't suppose putting potency would help me any. Now's the really tricky part. Now we have to see who's forced. Health and potency. Not the best. That one's actually kind of nice, isn't it? Probably too good for you. 348. So not the very best, but serviceable. Maybe. I don't know. Not bad for somebody that I'm not using this week. Yeah. Okay, Princess, back to you. What is the meaning of this? You trying to tell me that I literally have nothing I can throw in there? Suitable. Holy shit. So be it. Next. A G needs a potency. Good luck with that, Jack. Alright, I mean, you know. Suitable. Yeah, how we looking? Wait, what? Yeah. Okay, smart with me. 456, moments to spare. We are fully equipped. Get that lock. All right, how's that for coming under the wire? That's exactly the way I did it for the last era, too. All right. Good stuff. We got that Datacron pretty much where we wanted it. Be better if I can re-roll these, but not worth wailing to improve further, I think. So yeah, pretty strong cron. Hats off and a hydrate from Megatron. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Good stuff. All right. What do I need to do here? Anything else is caught up for them. I'll tell you what, guys. Why don't I walk downstairs, mix up a drink? We'll do Q&A for a few minutes, and then I got to wrap it up because I've got dinner cooking. I'll need to pull that out, get that served, and then in a little over an hour, I'm supposed to, sit down with the guys and record plotting and scheming for this week. We'll also be recording a bonus video on this new era that just went live. So we'll have that available for you. That'll be available to the public tomorrow, that video. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing is if I have a real bracket or not, we'll all find out here live. So why don't I just walk off for just a minute? I'll hit the be right back, fix up a drink, and yeah, put some questions in the chat. You guys just got some things you want to ask while I'm here for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Make some use of the time. But I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Fresh drink mixed. It just hit 5 o'clock hour, so let's see what we got. It's an Erodium. And what do I got? No way. Okay. Now, one of these guys is a real player. Okay. Dark Nub is a real player, right? Nope. I misremembered that shit. I radically misremembered that shit. No. No! No way! There's no way! It's all Erodiums? And I went 2-1. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. Okay, so there's Herbert. So Herbert, yeah, he went 3-0 last week, and I went 2-1. So he's placed fully 12 spots higher, and look at all of whatever in the fuck this is. I need to find you guys some substitute matches this week. All that was really funny. One of my patrons, he lives in the Middle East, so he might already be asleep, but he was laughing at me earlier when I was preparing this morning, saying, "You're doing all this work just for your one match this week? Ah, screw you, buddy. You know who you are. I don't even get the one. Ah. Let that be a lesson to me." All right. Yeah, exactly, Megatron. It is a joke, but you know, they said that they're working on fixing legacy game modes. Presumably, whenever they do something with Grand Arena, you're thinking it's a comprehensive enough overhaul where they're going to catch this bug and fix this bug. But I'm sorry, guys. I would love to put on a good show for you this week. I won't be able to do it personally. I will have to find you some substitutes. Yeah, and that's a shame, because this one I was really excited to see out there in battle. This is going to be a bad bitch. Man, if we can get rid of that health. If I can improve that crit damage and roll away that health, the rest of this is probably worth keeping. Exactly the way it is. Punishment for playing well and spending well? Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I can't complain too much, right? I mean, 3 crystals at the end of it. And it sounds nice the first handful of times it happens. It's a little old. So yeah, guys, what's on your minds? I'm at your disposal here for the next little bit. Let me text the missus to have her remind me exactly how she wanted me to put on that chicken. Okay. Let's see what the miss has to say. Saldag, Tass, do you have Herbert and 6 Erodiums again? Ah, yeah, you just arrived, Saldag. You missed the bad news. I shit you not. It's me and 7 Erodiums. Think, right? Oh my god, it really is. It's me and 7 Erodiums. It is. I know all the rest of these guys. Yeah. So yeah, this last week is straight dookie. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, do you guys think I can manage to go 3-0 this week? I'll let you know. Most Ross, it's so crazy that CG lets this go on. If the top players never get to play the video game, they might quit and take their money with them. You would think that even again, At this point, you have to think that even as a business, this problem going on for more than 2 years, because it started in January of Czech's year 2020. So it was 2 years in. So it was 24 it started. 24 it started in January. So we're like closer on towards 2.5 years of this issue. And you just have to think that as any business, the only reason you would let some issue like this stand so long unaddressed is that you're unpunished for doing so. It's not breaking anything else. Cash seems to be flowing in. Whales seem to spend anyway. What's the rush? That's the only reason I can think that you would push it this far back to the queue. I always get me in 715 million accounts, Zuli. Yeah, well, this is the opposite experience. Welcome to hell. Saldag, aren't you so glad you panic applied 7 tunes worth of mods? Yeah, and fixed up a couple Datacrons and stuff. You guys know that I have the beating heart of a competitor. I want it. I want it so bad, and I am slightly disheartened. I'm gonna try and live vicariously through some good streams. I'll see if I can't get TJ. I'll hit up the French guys again. Dark Hug, not Dark Hug. FC Datadan and Dark Killer. We'll see if I can't bring you some quality matches otherwise this week. Has there ever been an official statement on it, Hugsy? So or was it swept under the rug? It's both. When this issue was brand new, of course, everybody and their mother was signal boosting it, making threads on the forums and stuff. They eventually put out an announcement saying that the team is aware of and investigating the issue. Looking back, it does seem that the purpose of that announcement at that time was to be like, oh my god, guys, we heard you. Please stop making new threads about this. And so that must have been successful because they ain't said shit since. So good job, everybody being quiet. If you guys really want to help me out, you really want to see me be able to play games, start blowing up CG, start opening up tickets. Do you know what you're doing to Tassenix? You're ruining his life. You're ruining the quality of his GAC streams for me, because he has no GAC. Hit him up, man. Show up at CG offices. Bang on the windows. Don't get yourself arrested. But you know what I'm saying. This would not fly in any corporate America company. You say that, but Capital Games is exactly that. And to be honest, there's a lot of things that surprise me. So I've told you guys before, I work in the automotive industry, pretty well regulated. There's a lot of very clear requirements that you have to meet. And there's a lot of companies that would kill, like automotive suppliers, that would kill to have the kind of revenue that CG has. And so for the kind of money that this game makes, and if you're an executive in the company that owns, if you're in EA and you own this game through CG, you don't care whether or not this is a phone game. You don't care if it's like a Madden or FIFA style title. You don't care if it's a pilot simulator. You fix and move every fucking roadblock that stops you from printing money with the money printer. But which brings us back to, why haven't they fixed this with all the money they've made? It's because no one's punished them. No one's punished them. There hasn't been like a mass exodus of Krakens or something over it, because there's plenty of Krakens that are nowhere near the top ranks. Not a lot of people. You'd be surprised that, the two circles overlapping of Giga Krakens and top GAC players, not entirely overlapping. So yeah. If you want some mud, I've got a top 2000 match salt deck. I shudder to think, my man. I shudder to think. All right, Saldek says, yeah, unfortunately, CG has some bigger fish to fry right now. Their QA has gone from shit to non-existent. At this point, I do it for free. Be careful what you wish for, buddy. Just might get it. Guernsey 2202 says, LOL, this is exactly how half of corporate America operates. User experience doesn't matter if the money's still flowing. Indeed, yeah. It's a business. It's going to be sensitive to financial pressure. No one's financially pressuring them. No behavioral change. Checks out. Checks out. Yeah, send them a strongly worded email. Indeed, Womprat. Yes. Directly into the trash bin it goes. I have no pull, no influence with CG. I'm pretty sure if anybody at CG knows my name at all, it would only be Meathead. Saldag, my play the last couple weeks has suffered from IRL shit, but the climb for top 100 begins again. My man, the journey of 1,000 miles. I'm so proud. I've got a lot of patrons that have actually worked their way up into the top 100. I'm proud of you guys. You're all grinders. Good stuff. Let's see. Oh my god, I got a bunch of DMs. All right. Yeah, I just told all the guys on the podcast the situation. It's me and 7 Erodiums. Top 200 counts as the top 100 thanks to all the Erodiums. Yeah, it is part of the joke. It is part of the joke. Such a ridiculous game, dude. This is ridiculous. Not even... It's been a few months since I had a bracket like this, when it was me and 7 Erodiums. I mean, it feels like it's been half a year. Does anybody remember exactly when the last time was? So... Somehow I see myself coming out on top, guys. That's the story for this bracket for this week. Now, while we're all just jaw-jacking here, I know somebody was asking how I was doing Coliseum. Why don't we muddy our way through that a little bit? You're starting the infographic, Womp? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Hey. Okay, I don't know where these came from, but sure. Sure, that was what the update was. Da, 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 da. All right, Coliseum. So, how do we do this? I'm rank 3. What's the top rank look like? So only 5k separates me between very top. How is this best accomplished? Got rebels. Maybe this. Yeah, I did do BAM lead on another run, Guernsey. Well, I mean, I'm just going to throw these in on auto. BAM lead I tried once, but the thing is, I don't know if you noticed what I noticed. It doesn't really matter how many turns get. It looks like, at least for me, and I'll demonstrate it here so you can see, he was like kind of hard capped at like 6 or 7 stacks of birds. And I watched that over a couple attempts. So it's not just me like not getting more attacks to ramp the birds higher. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Like 6 or 7 birds, Hugsy. That's what I'm saying. Like it got up to 6, and then I did another couple attacks after that, and then it didn't go any higher. Is what I'm saying. Ah ha ha! 6 or 7. Ha ha ha! I just realized that. That makes me proud of my age because I really had to have that put in my face to realize that I did the 6-7. There it is. Fighting the crate without any raid mechanics feels half-baked. I gotta be honest with you. I like the idea of them reusing more raid stuff in any way, any of those art assets. Like, I know that by the time we were all done with the Naboo raid, a lot of folks were tired of it. I wasn't. I thought it was gorgeous. I thought it was easily the most, like, visually impressive raid, and I never got tired of it. And now it doesn't matter if I'm tired of it, because I'm not going to see it for however long, if ever. And that's a shame. Those art assets should be used somehow, some way. Hey, we made it through. Holy shit. Okay, guys, I might have stumbled onto something. 21,000 was the number to beat, right? 22, that puts me number 1. Ha ha! The greatest of all time. So yeah, it looks like I'm in with... Oh, wow. So he could probably just play this a little better on auto, or just, you know, because he's 7 stars on day 1. I'm not doing all that. All right, at least I'll finish in the top 10 for tomorrow, but that's a good one. All right, so we saw that that was worth 22,162. Let's do a BAM lead. So you're thinking scoundrels then. Is that what we're talking about here? Sure, we'll take you. You're kind of shit. You're okay, you're okay. You're a tank. 1, a 2, a 3. Oh, it needs to be at least 1 non-loaned unit. I guess easily the worst of these would be Greedo, and then we take our man. After the update to make Naboo way more smooth, it felt quite good. Yeah, I hear you, Hugsy. I mean, it wasn't really bothering me that much anyway, but... Ooh, actually don't put this one on auto, right? Not that it matters. There's no AoE that matters here. Yeah, okay. Let's pay attention here. 3, 5. It's multiple attacks. No. But it's all right. 6. See that? See that? So Kara and Cad didn't stimulate him above 6 birds. So I think that's kind of put in there so that you don't just mercilessly blow out this fight. Anyway, now that it's set in some type of sensible order, we'll just let it run and see if we beat the other score on auto. Saldag says, I work with children. I don't need to hear it from my streamer. I respect that, man. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. I love my child. I don't know that I could do it on a professional basis, working with other people's children. I respect that work. Naboo was absolutely gorgeous, but it was a pain in the ass to actually do every run and spend an hour on it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Lord Vader's raid here, Order 66, is the easiest, the quickest it's probably ever been. I think that is very valuable, and I'm okay. You know, I can live with that. I don't want life to be harder for the rest of you. I've got all the toys, right? So I'm not ever really going to be short shrift with getting through the encounter. This is actually really competitive, guys. There's not a lot of daylight between these attempts. It looks like the first one's going to fare better, but not by much. Hell, it might not even be by anything, he said. That's almost the same thing. 21,493. Pretty close. So, pretty good. It's because your BAM is low level, he gains more birds as his abilities are upgraded. Okay, so if I had 7-star new droid, then I would probably be able to get further. And I can live with that. But, you know, so the question was, yeah, I don't know how you feel. People weren't sure how they felt about this. I love this. I think this is hilarious to see this big ass sticking out. Like, it's hilarious that they shoehorned him in here. He looks ridiculous. It is funny. I love it. I'm delighted to see this. So, no complaints, man. Thoughts on Drogon instead of maybe Embo to give the offense buff to Mando? That may well make a difference, man. That may well make a difference. You want me to burn the last attempt on that? We can do that. I mean, when you're thinking of characters that matter, the Scout's only gonna do like crazy good stuff for. Him getting more offense is fine. I wonder if we drop add to put in this one. What do you think about that? It's KMA says I'm currently 8.7 million. Went 3-0 last GAC because my opponents barely did anything. I'm facing a damn 13.8 with a 7-star Maul hate fueled. This is the circle of life, man. You're trying to climb rank. You're eventually going to come up against somebody that's got that meat. They're going to just flop that bitch out on the table and ask you if you know what you're doing. Can you handle all that meat? It's a challenge. Good luck. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, all right. All right, I appreciate the feedback there, Hugsy. I think I will throw in Cab. All right, let's make sure that we get the third onto Bam off rip. Just a basic, if you please. Third to Bam. Use this is fine. Get rid of his defense pen. Put it on auto. Flip switches, yo. Yeah, 6 stacks is all the better we can go for now. All right, we'll see what we get. Have they released the overcharge thing for Coliseum? I have no idea. Yeah, I do like this boss. You got to understand, like when I was a kid reading Star Wars books and stuff, there were no drawings that I had ever seen anyway of like a crate dragon. There was no popular media. I didn't really read comic books, so if it was depicted in comic books or graphic novels, I would have missed out on that. But the point is that the Mando show was the first I ever actually got to see a crate dragon. You could read in books how it was described and everything, and blah 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 blah. But this game first, bringing that out from the show, I was really happy to see this raid boss. So again, whenever I see this guy in TB, and now that it's here, guys, good call, Hugsy. That was a great call. Look at that. We just set the record. And we're going to push it a little higher still. We got a few moves left in us, don't we? Boy, howdy do we. Okay, so the good news is that Rebel-led team is going to take you right on up there, but yeah, Bam, making sure that you get that Drogon buff there. Smart call, Hugsy. Appreciate the tip. Yeah, it's about as good as we need to be on. Grack, 19735. Follow the channel. Welcome. Good to have you. You think KOTOR was the first? Oh man, if that's true and they showed a crate dragon, I don't remember. I would have been in high school, man. Pakistan says, hello, sir. How did you get the rental units that high? Yeah, so you do get the rental units higher by buying the cash packs that give you the added materials. Like I explained this earlier, so I'll just try to be brief about it. For most of the eras and most of marquee stuff, I don't when you have the cash pack on offer, I don't usually buy that. The one that you buy for dollars. That gets you shards. Because in a lot of previous eras, the other materials that are in there is stuff I don't need, like Omicron materials and stuff. I've got like an incredible glut of all that type of thing. So I usually would be buying this big one, right? Well, this time they had the cash pack for like $28 US, and it had stuff that is era materials for leveling your era level. So I was going to be earning or buying that anyway. So I, unusually decided to buy the cash pack, which unlocks the second cash pack for $75 that gives you the other shards that you need to make it like an even 100 shards. You also get extra loaned unit levels out of those cash packs. So that's where it's coming from. Obviously, your loan units are also higher level depending on the level of the actual proper era units. So mine is 6 stars with 15 shards towards 7 stars. And at 6 stars, that's about as high as the era units will go with those cash packs propping them up. So hopefully that answers you. Did Mrs. T message me yet? Yes, after 12. Waiting to hear that oven beep that it's preheated, and then I'm going to throw the chicken in. And then, we'll keep on chatting for a little bit. So, as free-to-play, are we in ass? I mean, I don't know what this means for free-to-play, man. Like, it feels favorable, doesn't it? Like, don't you think it feels like it's easier for a free-to-play to be closer to the higher ranks and get more rewards if Krakens are strictly limited to how much they can spend to push their era level? Then again, every Kraken's going to push as high as they can, so the first 10 spots might be just them anyway. That's why I say I'm kind of dubious about it. Just had the client restart and given 3 more loan levels. Yeah, I got that too just a minute ago, Don Senzi. Yeah. We applied those and we just ran the last few raid attempts that I had without paying to refresh, and I'm not paying to refresh, so that's that. What was it that I was short on? I'm still short on defense. Guys, I've been farming defense for a long time. I gotta tell you, I get pickier and pickier every time. Hugsy says, if I recall correctly, they're giving out the loan unit level up things every day. Is that so? Is that some kind of cross promotion with the 4th anniversary? Grax says, I think the big thing is more that the rank is less important as we get 3 times more rewards. Yeah, so I had heard. That's very generous for everybody. I'm down with that. I'm down with everybody. Personally, if you look at other phone games, first of all, Galaxy of Heroes is one of the better ones in terms of being in your face with ads, and all these games are by nature designed to try and trigger your gambling instincts and get you to spend more money. So when you can see that up front, CG and Swugga are one of the least scummy about it. And I think that they've made decisions in the last couple of years that have really elevated the experience for free to play. And I'm always down with those choices. That's what I would keep telling them. They seem to already have a grasp on this, but giving more gets you more. Giving more, especially of the new thing, makes you, the player, run into your next constraint all that faster. And what a shame, too, right? Because you just got a head of steam under you. You just got enough materials through what you've earned and with what they're handing out more often to take a couple characters to Relic 9 and another Relic 10, and you're almost at the other character to have, the main guys on this one team, all Relic 10. Let's say like a Stranger team. You've got Spider-Maul and Stranger. Now you want to do Starkiller, for example. And what a shame. You just ran out. You've already got all this stuff, and it was mostly free to get you there. But bringing you so close to a completed goal, I think, stimulates spend. And that feels less scummy than other ways. Like, give me a bunch of stuff and bring me almost to exactly where I want to be, and then tell me that I have to pay to fill in the blank. That's a lot better than, here's a few crumbs to show you what this could eventually look like, and if you're not willing to pay 99% cash out of pocket after that, go pound sand? Nah, it's not for me. Okay, Soldag. It's not a cross promotion. That's just how they're choosing to do it. Swugga is extremely free-to-play friendly now, especially compared to other games like it. And if you're smart about things, you can easily do well as a free-to-play. I gotta say, there are a handful of free-to-play players that I know that are enjoying themselves. So Yeah, I want to believe. Want to believe. We got about 30 minutes until I'm supposed to start recording with the fellas. So, probably give it about another 20 minutes so I can have a few minutes to set things up. You really have a very subjective view of this game. Not sure what you mean by that, Vin, but I try to recognize my view from where I'm at. Like, I'm in a position very different from most other players, and I always want to be cognizant of that. You know? Most of the good things they've done for this game are things that don't benefit me personally, and I still love them, and I'm still happy to see them because it contributes to the overall health of the game, and we can keep playing, indefinitely. You think you're okay, KMA, for what? I'm going to message the French guys. It's a cursed existence. Yeah, that big number quite did intimidate. Yeah, no doubt. You're okay against the near 13.8 millions. Listen, man, when you start running into people that have a lot more resources than you, you're going to have to start getting comfortable with cheesing them. The trick to cheesing is setting interesting choice teams where they can see, because you know for a fact that you can't beat them on power. So your only real opportunity is to trip them up with choices that you punish with whatever few decent teams you can set on defense in the back. Hugsy, I will say, you come off as knowledgeable and humble, which could be very rare for someone so invested high up in rank in these type of games. Trust me, humility is a practice for me. I come from a family of arrogant men, and it is a discipline. It is a practice, and I appreciate that you see it. And I'm not saying that just because of the game. I'm saying I appreciate that you see it because it is easy. Like Dagger is usually one of the ones reminding me because when people ask me questions about mods, I answer you honestly, completely, to the best of my ability. And a lot of what I say might only be easily feasible for somebody who's got my level of resources. And so I always try and temper my advice. Like if you watch the mod guide videos, I try and tell you set types, turn order priority in terms of who should be ahead of who. But I try to stay away from you need to have this much offense, you need to have this much speed as much as possible because that doesn't necessarily translate all the way through. Doesn't apply to everybody. But I'm glad it helps you, Hugsy. Thank you. Vin says, I mean by that, you view it much nicer than it is. CG fucks up so much stuff, and you guys always try to find the one thing they did right. Well, you gotta remember, man, like, I'm removed from a lot of the damage that you're talking about. Like, when they make a lot of unpopular decisions, whales, krakens, not terribly affected. So I either try to shut up or I'll signal boost what the actual problem is as far as I understand it. But otherwise, yeah, if I don't know what to say, I'll just shut up because I can see what's good in something if I can make use of it, if I can apply it to me. But yeah, I hear you, Vin. I hear you. Let's see here. Yeah, you're good, KMA. Glad to help him. Titus says, my Kyber 2 opponent has a Relic 10 Cassian for some reason. Have you theory crafted what could work? Ahsoka Tano because they get a lot of turn meter? I have no idea what works well against the team. We could spend a few minutes talking about that if I encounter it. But no, I really have spent no time thinking about how to fight it. And I won't really have the opportunity this week, man. Because if you're just getting here, I got matched into a bracket with 7 Erodiums. So I have no legitimate, real fights of my own all week. Client must be restarted. Boy. You got to take like 4 or 5 swings at. Let's see. We'll take a look at that, though, Titus. We'll take a look at that. By the way, if that's a Final Fantasy X reference, I like it. I like it. That was my favorite Final Fantasy. Let's see. KMA says, is this why my opponents don't attack that much? So they don't get thrown against high millions right off the bat? I mean, opponents that don't really feel like competing, I don't spend time thinking about why they do that. The fact is that the more successful you are, the more probable you are to come up against a superior opponent. Whether that's superior in terms of their game ability, or they just have way more resources than you, or a blend of both. It is natural and it is proper that you eventually run up into, holy shit, this one's going to be really hard. Yeah, that's just part of the beast. Okay, Vin says CG screwed anyone that didn't get Cassie into 7 stars before their post. Everyone that spent money but didn't get Cassie into 7 stars didn't get anything in return. Yes, you are right about that. And see, I did spend, so I got my 30,000 crystals from that. And so, yes, you're right. I wasn't reflecting on how those particular people that spent some but not enough got screwed. That's a legitimate point. That is a legitimate complaint. Nothing to take away from me on that, Vin. I'm also still expecting compensation for all the stuff I spent, because I spent enough to take Cassian up to 95 before they gave us all the freebies, and then I spent enough to take all the rest of Cassian's team, just the Rebel Fighter characters from the era, all to level 90, not 95. So I didn't spend maybe as much as some who took all of the characters, all to 95, but I would expect separate compensation for that. And I'm hearing because the post they made a few days ago defines, like on bullet point 4, they say that they're going to do a certain amount of compensation for people who bought those packs. And then on point 5, they talk about how they're going to compensate people who got Cassie into 7 stars before they handed that out. So I got my 30,000 crystals for point 5, and I'm still expecting some compensation for point 4. Although I'm hearing from people that they're saying that the 30,000 crystals that you got for 0.5 is the only compensation coming. If that's the case, I may charge back then for all that shit I spent on those packs, because they must be out of their fucking minds. This isn't a free money thing. Like, I'm giving you money for pixels. The least you can do is give me the fucking pixels, and in absence of having given me those pixels again for free, re-fucking-fund me. Let's see here. Saldag, I don't know, Tass. It's very reasonable for me to use your advice. Well, good, man. I'm glad it helps. That is the idea. Ray Rock says CGE has also not compensated all the people who spent on the December Datacron set, which screwed up and rewarded the entire community. I guess, yeah. What was that set, 25? I'm over it, man. If I never think about that shit again, it'll be too soon. Six Lime says, hey, Tess, sorry if this has been covered. How do you feel about the 3-hour sprint and how it's like the middle of the night in some time zones? Yeah, it's bullshit, man. But here's something. For all you guys that are users of Hot Utils Patreon, you guys are already aware of the automation feature, building out loadouts, how quickly and how efficiently that can move you between sets and help you just completely remod your roster. I did send some feedback to Hot Sauce a while ago to say that wouldn't it be great if you could, because they've already got this gear tracker tool built into Hot Utils where you can plug in the characters, the level of relics that you're going to want them at. So for example, for this era, all of the characters minimum relic 9, Cassian relic 10, and that way you'll be able to max out the related era battle. You can plug all that in there, and then it'll tell you how many total of every material do you need, how many do you have, what is the delta, how many are you short. So that's one part of it. You can prepare what you need in the background. Now, wouldn't it be great if they could have some other tool added where you can simulate the character at max level with all of its whatever, Omicron's all abilities at max rank, whatever, and then it would allow you to apply mods that you currently have in your inventory to this theoretical character that is currently an era character, but you can't actually equip mods to in game. Wouldn't it be great if you could virtually work with that? Because what that could do is the work that you saw, if you guys were here at the start of the stream, you saw me do this. That's the purpose of this panic stream, was to actually look at the characters now that I have them in my hands and start equipping mods to them and seeing what felt like was going to work. What worked both on paper and what worked relative to my constraints, right? So I did both, and I did it pretty quickly, and it's a lot of stress to do. So the short answer for you is, yeah, I don't like it much. The long answer is, I'm hoping that Hot Utils provides a long-term solution to this, because the era system doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And if you could do all this background work in the weeks and months preceding this day for the next era, then when the era units hit, it's just a matter of hitting a loadout that you've already predefined, that you already know. When you equip into the character that you've made Relic 9 now in game, you already know what those stats are going to look like. You don't have to solve for shit. You don't have to prioritize nothing. You just click a button and load them in and backfill anybody that you robbed. That's what I would say. Swugga player, Ranger got 30,000 crystals, but he was annoyed about it. But if you're not a longtime streamer, you will get screwed, it seems. I mean, like I said, aside from Meathead, I don't think CG knows me from Adam. So me getting 30,000 crystals back probably has nothing to do with me personally. That being said, they said the 30,000 crystals was the compensation for those who took Cassian to 7 stars, which is independent of those who spent on the era material packs to take their characters to era level 95. I do expect separate compensation, or I'm just going to charge back. And I charge all this on a credit card, so if they want to fight with Citibank about it, they can fucking do that. That is for only the things spent after their post, before they took the stuff out of the store. Anything spent before the post is not refunded, as in your example, all the stuff before. Oh, it's my misunderstanding, Vin? Because I thought that text said that it was going to be compensated. Perhaps how could it be possible that you would be compensated for anything they spent after their announcement? Because I thought that they took the ability out of the store to buy the era packs once they gave you everything for free. Lost Swamprat, if I understand what you're saying, so everyone got the 30K if you had a 7-star Cassian. Maths on it said, if you purchased just the 7-star stuff, it was about 14 to 16K crystals, so they gave you more. So if 14 to 16 crystals was to compensate for what I spent to take Cassian to 7 stars, then the implication is that another 14K crystals is what they're giving you for anything that you did to take the era levels higher, which is less than a vault. And I can promise you that I spent more than a single vault, bringing all those characters to a minimum of Relic level 90, and then Cassian to, not Relic level 90, era level 90, and then Cassian to era level 95. I guarantee you I spent more than $100, so looking for a little compensation on that. And again, if they say they're done, that's fine. If they're done, then Citibank can get started with them when I do the chargeback. Because that's how it's going to fucking be. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, because literally, I would have saved definitely more than $200 had I just waited a few more days and they handed everything out. So there's no way that they just get $200 fucking gratis. This ain't a charity. You got to go to Ranger Stream to see the charity.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tassenix.
Hey, is that one of my Frenchmen?
Yes.
Hey,
how
Dark
are you
Killer.
doing?
Yeah, I just reached out to Dadadan, so I guess he must have let you know. Yeah, man, I'm fucked. That's how I'm doing. I'm fucked. That's how I am. Yeah.
Really? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's me and 7 Erodiums in a bracket, so enjoy the show this week, you know?
This is crazy, man. It's crazy. How would you be able to play Gax or like? This is no fun, man.
It's not fun, but that's why I need to live vicariously through you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching your stream, yeah, the test and the new faction you got. Damn,
Sure.
it's good.
Yeah.
Uh, how the hell you have this kind of amount of crystals?
I bought all the shit out of the store that you got the bonus crystals for, right? And then I went onto the web store and bought one of the $200 vault. So I was up
Okay.
So literally,
Yeah.
you're watching. This is the after, buddy. The before, I was over 120,000 crystals.
Oh yeah, that's insane. Well, I did the same with the May the 4th pack, and I'm waiting for a friend to. I don't know if you saw that on the store. You can have an exchange with another pack for 120 euros. I don't know how much is it for dollars, but you have like 15 Omicrons, you have 12k crystals, and 250 different signals. It's kind of a great gift, to be honest.
Yep.
But yeah, the faction is kind of insane. I didn't whale them too much. I have just them 4 stars and relic 2. I put the 3 omicrons for Cassian anyway, but I'm not going to. Well, we will not use him for this last week. Obviously, we will not. But we saw that we had some a little trouble in the bracket. We got some crazy opponents. Fortunately, we don't have Tigra, because I don't know if you watch this guy account. It's nonsense, Tass. I think it's kind of the same than you, but it's more crazy because this guy is. I watch your Datacrons roster, and
Yeah.
it's kind of okay for me. I mean, I know you wail a bit for that, but when you see Tigra's Datacron set, man, it's insane. But
Yeah.
anyway, we are. It's like that.
I do spend on Datacrons. Long-term fans of the stream know that back in the day, I did my like crystal refreshes for Datacrons during Conquest, but very little actual crystal or cash spend on Datacrons. And then eventually at a certain point, I stopped needing to spend as many resources on advancing characters themselves. So to actually compete against the very top, I needed to start spending more on Datacrons. And so I do. Nobody's going to tell you I got a free-to-play Datacron roster, but I still do spend significantly less than most of the big guys up here. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. But, well, when you see that you are alone in the bracket and you're playing bots,
just as fucking well. Yeah, it's just as fucking well that I spend little on it. Yeah.
Because, man, you're just going to use your Datacrons for TW right now. That's
much.
The only
thing. Yeah. I can go find the largest pile of sand and pound it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yep.
Well, for our part, we have Tom Ford for the first match.
Oh, that's a good
very nice guy. Yeah. It's gonna be a very nice fight. We planned some stuff with Datadan because we lost the last match 2 days ago because of Balin in the back. Well, to be honest, we're going to save most everything in offense to be like as always very clean. We made some crazy stuff like. The first and the second opponent didn't even try to finish us on the board because we were too clean. I think we made like let me check something, but we have in the bracket we have Baby Yoda. We will message him if we play against him because it's one of our friends like yours. Wait, I'm not on the right one. Sorry. Okay, here we are.
Wait, did you say that you're fighting Chimigak?
Shinigak? What do you mean?
No, I must have misheard you say something. Never mind. Carry on.
No. We have Tom Ford. We have Dumbo Master. It's one of another Phantom's Menace player. We have Baby Yoda. We got Arsenal.
Yes, I think Arsenal has Baby Yoda in your bracket. Oh man, you guys do have a good bracket. That'll be fun to watch, man.
Yeah, we have Rockstar too.
Well, listen. Don't keep the people in suspense because I've got to wrap up this stream in a few minutes to go record the podcast.
Okay,
so before I do that, tell us, when's going to be good this week for me to cover one of you guys' matches?
Well, we might, to be honest. I talked to him just before I came here to see you to say hi, but I think we will stream all the match because there is just one bot in the bracket, so we might have some crazy opponents for the three matches. It's possible because if we win tomorrow, we might face Baby Yoda or Arsenal in the second match, and if they don't face each other, we might face one of those two in the final. That's the thing. So I don't know, but for the stream, uh, we might do it. I don't know if you will be able to, but it will be Thursday morning for us. So it might be. I don't know if you will sleep probably.
If you're doing Thursday morning, let's say you're doing like 10 a.m., that is what? Like 4 a.m. for me. Too early.
Yeah, well, you will go sleeping at this time.
Yeah. So if you're trying to do it in your morning, that's probably a little too early for me.
Yeah, it's going to be too early. Yeah.
So let's think of it like this: like, what about like last time we did it in the afternoon? Like, if I go at 2 p.m. my time, that's 8 p.m. your time. Does that work for you?
Yep. Yeah, it can, but
well, you don't have to commit to me. You don't have to commit to me firmly here if you need to check with Datadan and let me know. But yeah, let me know because like Thursday. Yeah. Let's think about this. Thursday after 8 a.m. I think I can maybe make it work, but it's better if it's after 2 for me.
Yeah, I prefer to, even for you, because you are the one who is streaming all for your viewers and everything. I will talk to him, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. He got a concert because he's playing for music, you know.
Oh, okay. He's a musician.
Yeah. He got a concert, so he might not be able to play. I can still play on my own because I know how to manage it, but I don't know if he will be able to. I will ask him. I will let you know. No worry.
Dig that. Yeah, do let me know. I'll let all you guys know if I'm bringing you more matches this week. So for sure, can you post their streaming address somewhere on your Discord, Tassenix, if you aren't streaming it? These guys do not stream publicly anywhere else except with me. Like they stream with their friends or whatever, on their own Discord or something. But they're not routinely streaming. So if you guys want to actually see them fight, you gotta encourage him to show up here with me, and we'll get that. We'll get you covered. We'll get you the fights that you want to see. All right?
That's very nice of him. I appreciate it. Well, I'm not going to annoy you more tonight, Tassenix. Well, for us, it's tonight. I don't know how what hour is it for you right now?
It's 5:53, a few minutes before 6 p.m.
Okay, for us, it's midnight right now.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be honest. I'm tired like shit. I'm going to be at bed very soon. I'm very exhausted.
Well, thanks for dropping in and chatting, man. Just let me know if when we'll do some matches this week.
Yeah, we have some stuff to do, and if we can give you a bit of fun, because man, playing Orodiums, bro, it's horrible. I honestly, I give you all my strengths for this week because you have all new toys and you won't be able to use it. That's so shame.
I know, man. It's disappointing. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, man.
I'll keep you informed. Take care of yourself, and we'll see each other.
I appreciate it, man. See you soon. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah. See you. Bye, Tess.
All right, guys. It is time for me to wrap up and get things squared away just before I start recording this week's episode of Plotting and Scheming. So if you want to be in touch in between now and the next stream I go live, there's a link to my Discord. Join the community if you're not already there. Of course, you're catching me live here, so you already know I'm at twitch.tv/Tassenix. I also simulcast from my YouTube channel, Tassenix Gaming, where if you've not been there before, check it out. Whole bunch of soul-related content that I think you'll be interested in, including things like my magnum opus, the How to Mod series, building up your mod collection from scratch, all the way through advanced topics, mod guides on characters and factions that you've asked about, my GAC VODs with chapters added. It's also a rebroadcasting point for my Grand Arena Focus podcast, Plotting and Scheming, that I make with my friends Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. We're breaking down our combats from the last week in the thereabouts of the top 100 of Kyber 1. We'll tell you how we dealt with the meta matchups, our favorite attacks and defenses that we saw, our lessons learned for the week to come, and any other actionable intelligence that we think is worth sharing. That show is native to Spotify, but wherever you catch an episode, check the description. There is a link that you can use to plug into your preferred podcast program and follow the show that way. Anything you like over there on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, all great ways to support me for absolutely free. And if you just love what I'm doing so much and you want to go above and beyond the call of duty to support the stream, there are a few ways to do so. I do have a Cash App that is $Tassenix. I do have a PayPal, which is tassenix@gmail.com. That's 3 S's. You only need 2. There we go. tassenix@gmail.com. And if you're interested in getting some enhanced Grand Arena scouting power for yourself, early access to my content, and a few other benefits besides, you may be interested in becoming a patron. Check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Tassenix. For any upwardly mobile Grand Arena player, there is something there of interest for you. At $5 a month, you enter the Tass House at VIP access level, where you get early access to the Plotting and Scheming show that is coming out to our general audience Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern. Patrons get it as early as Monday or Tuesday night, depending on when we sit down to record, giving you early insight into that first round of the week. We also occasionally record patron-exclusive videos that you'll have at least a month ahead of the general public. And of course, dedicated text and voice chat on Discord, where I am usually lurking, so pop on in and say hi. Thank you so much to all of my patrons here at VIP Access. Moving on up to the $10 a month tier is VIP Access Plus, where you get a bundled Patreon access to me and to your choice of either OmegaBot or Hot Utils Patreon. OmegaBot's that tool that I highlight at the start of all of my Grand Arena streams. It's the one with the graphs that give you an easily understood sense of your opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Anybody can use that tool for free, scout their opponent's last week of Grand Arena history, but only patrons can build out a custom report with any number of weeks. You get a downloadable HTML version of that report with embedded links that when you click them, takes you right back into swugga.gg or Insight with data pre-sorted, just helping you further minimize and focus your scouting efforts. Or you may alternatively go for Hot Utils Patreon, aka the Chili subscription, which is your #1 tool for mass mod management and loadout creation. Nothing else lets you switch so easily between your Grand Arena, TB, TW, and Raid mods. You can use it like TJ and Fatal do to comprehensively remod your roster with the powerful automation feature. You can slice through hundreds of mods in seconds, help out your guild in TW, and so much more. No wrong way to go at VIP Access Plus. Thank you to all of my patrons subscribed here. At VIP Access Premium, that is $15 a month for the Double Bot Bundle. So Patreon access for me, OmegaBot, and Hot Utils, all in one price. Going out and getting those 2 bots anywhere else costs the same as this triple bundle, which is why so many of my patrons say it's one of the best values in the game. Thank you so much to all of my patrons here at VIP Access Premium. I know you guys enjoy the double bots. At the top of the list in Jester's Club Elite, the one, the only Nomad's Reaper, a madman who pops in from time to time and sets hype train records by dropping hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies. Incredibly generous support over the years. Thank you so much, Nomads. Likewise to Pills, who will show up mostly towards the end of my Grand Arena streams and just start handing out a dozen gift subs here, 100 there. I never know what to expect, but it is always generous. It is always appreciated. Thank you. Special thanks goes first out to the Lost Womp Rat, one of my patrons who, in addition to being a content creator in his own right, goes above and beyond the Call of Duty, not just for me, but for the community at large, helping us all out with our various IT-related issues. He recently got my stream repaired, where I was only streaming on Twitch, but not YouTube, and I meant to be on both, and he had me fixed up in a GIF. So appreciate the time and attention as always, Womp Rat. I also collaborate with him on making Datacron, infographic and guides. So if you're not already following his channel, check him out. And of course, next to Mrs. T, my darling wife, thank you for all you do in the background, whether that's bringing me something to eat or drink while I'm live here on stream, or just, keeping our daughter from tearing the house apart while I'm trying to be the very best, like no one ever was at a phone game. I appreciate you. And of course, to my co-hosts on Plotting and Scheming that are probably waiting for me in the other room right now, Dagger, TJ, Sasha, Aisha, and Fatal. Gentlemen, as ever, it is my pleasure and privilege to record our show on a weekly basis. Despite the pressures of work, family, raising kittens, you guys still make the time to be here every episode, and I appreciate it because I learn something every time. Hopefully you guys occasionally feel the same, but it is not about us. It is about the viewers and the listeners tuning in, and they're letting us know that we're having the intended impact that we wanted with our show, guys. It's rare that a day goes by that I don't get some comment, some DM, thanking us for something that folks are picking up from our conversations, applying in their rounds, and it's helping them win the day. So thank you guys so much for being part of the show nearly 3 years on, and I would not change a thing. Let us make ready to raid you all out. Oh, yeah, I probably should have changed that part. Yes, well, you know what? Get it out. Arnold's live. Let's send you on out to Arnold, folks on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. See you real soon. Try and bring you a guest stream. All right, Twitch Raiders, you know the drill. We make ready. There's only one. Lucky Sevens. I don't even know who that is. Oh, it's an English stream, so at least there's that going for you. So we'll raid on into this guy and go say hi. Well, I said hi. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this absolute panic of a stream. Turns out the effort was wasted because I'm fighting erodiums all week, but stay tuned on Discord, and I'll let you guys know about whatever guest matches I'm able to bring you. So thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully some of this helped you guys, and until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.